Let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself chasing someone who barely notices you? Do you keep giving your time, your energy, your focus to a woman who doesn't truly value any of it? Are you stuck in the loop of hoping, waiting, and wondering, all while your goals sit on the back burner? If you've answered yes to any of that, this message is for you. And before we dive into it, make sure you subscribe, not just to this channel, but to a better version of yourself. Because this isn't about hate, bitterness, or blame. This is about self-respect, clarity, and growth. Let's break down 5 brutal but necessary truths every man needs to hear when it comes to women and wasted time. 1. Stop choosing women who don't choose you. One of the hardest truths a man must face is this: if a woman is unsure about you, chances are she's already decided you're not the one for her. This isn't about bitterness, it's about clarity. A woman who genuinely wants to be in your life doesn't leave you guessing. She doesn't keep you in emotional limbo. If you're constantly wondering where you stand with her, the answer is probably nowhere significant. Too many men fall into the trap of chasing someone who has no intention of being caught. They try harder, give more, and bend over backward hoping to finally be enough. But love isn't something you earn through desperation. Affection isn't a prize for persistence. And connection isn't built on convincing someone to care. Why do men do this? Often it stems from low self-worth. If deep down you don't believe you're worthy of genuine reciprocal love, you'll gravitate toward women who reinforce that belief. You'll mistake their indifference for a challenge, their silence for mystery, their emotional unavailability for depth. It's time to break that cycle. It's time to stop choosing women who aren't choosing you. Start by choosing yourself. This doesn't mean becoming arrogant or emotionally closed off. It means honoring your own value. It means being honest about what you want and not settling for half-love, occasional attention, or someone who only reaches out when it's convenient. When you choose yourself, you stop accepting mixed signals as meaningful communication. You stop reading into every vague text or delayed reply, hoping for hidden affection. You stop waiting for her to come around. Most importantly, you reclaim your power. Because every time you chase someone who doesn't want you, you give away a piece of your dignity. You make someone else the authority over your self-worth. And that is never a position of strength. Choosing yourself might mean walking away from someone you wanted deeply. It might mean enduring loneliness for a while. But that temporary pain is 1,000 times better than the long-term agony of loving someone who doesn't love you back. Love should feel safe. It should be mutual. It should involve 2 people who are both leaning in, not one chasing while the other leans out. Don't fall for potential, fall for presence. Don't invest in a maybe. Invest in someone who chooses you without hesitation. Remember, it's not your job to convince anyone to love you. Your job is to become so grounded in your self-respect that anything less than genuine affection becomes unappealing. So stop chasing ghosts. Stop hoping for clarity from silence. Stop choosing women who don't choose you. Choose yourself. Every time. 2. Attention isn't affection. Let's clear up one of the most common misunderstandings in modern dating. Attention does not equal affection. Just because she sends a flirty emoji, replies to your story, or texts you late at night doesn't mean she cares. It might mean she's bored. It might mean she's lonely. But it doesn't mean she values you. In today's digital world, it's easy to get distracted by notifications and confuse them with emotional connection. A like on your photo, a late-night message, that's attention, but not affection. Real affection shows up in presence, consistency, and effort. It's not performative, it's not transactional, it's not based on convenience. When a woman truly cares, you'll feel it in her actions. not just her words. She won't disappear for days and come back when she needs validation. She won't keep you as a placeholder while she explores other options. She won't breadcrumb you with minimal effort to keep you interested without offering real intimacy. Breadcrumbs are those tiny crumbs of interaction that keep you hooked. A message here, a compliment there, just enough to make you wonder, to keep you hoping. But hope without action is a trap, and too many men fall into it. Understand this: attention can come from anyone. True affection is rare, and it's not loud, it's steady, it's not dramatic, it's dependable. A woman who values you will invest in you. She will make time, not excuses. She will show up even when it's inconvenient. She will communicate clearly. She will be consistent. You deserve more than being someone's plan B. You deserve more than being the one she talks to when no one else is available. Don't let your loneliness convince you that you're in love. Don't mistake momentary attention for lasting connection. Affection is built through emotional intimacy, shared experiences, and mutual vulnerability. It's something that grows over time. And if she's not putting in the work, if she's not meeting you halfway, then it's not love, it's a performance. Stop feeding off crumbs. Stop settling for sporadic attention. Start recognizing the difference between being wanted for your presence and being used to fill a void. When you begin to value yourself more, your standards rise. You no longer tolerate inconsistency. You no longer chase validation. You seek depth. You seek someone who not only sees your worth, but treats it with care. So if she only calls when she's lonely, if she disappears and reappears like a ghost, if her actions don't match her words, she's not the one. Move on, because attention isn't affection, and you deserve the real thing. 3. Lust is not leadership. Here's a brutal truth that every man must face. If you're ruled by your lust, you're not in control of your life. You're being led by your impulses, not your purpose. And a man who cannot master himself will be mastered by the world. Lust is not the enemy. Desire in itself is not evil. But unchecked lust is dangerous. It clouds judgment. It hijacks priorities. It makes men chase short-term gratification at the expense of long-term fulfillment. Think about how many men have thrown away their potential, their relationships, even their legacies, for a moment of pleasure. Affairs, addictions, distractions, they all come from the same root: a lack of self-mastery. True leadership begins with discipline, and discipline means saying no to urges that don't serve your higher goals. It means thinking long-term, not just reacting to what feels good right. Now, a Stoic man doesn't suppress his desires. He acknowledges them, but he doesn't let them steer the wheel. He knows that every time he chooses pleasure over principle, he weakens his integrity. He knows that chasing lust isn't a sign of power. It's a symptom of chaos. In the world of Stoicism, self-control is freedom. It's the ability to choose your response rather than be ruled by impulses. And nowhere is that more tested than in the realm of lust. Lust can be intoxicating. It can feel urgent. But feelings aren't facts. Just because you want something doesn't mean it's good for you. Just because it feels right in the moment doesn't mean it aligns with your mission. The men who rise above mediocrity are those who learn to delay gratification. They understand that every yes to lust is a no to something greater: peace, focus, legacy. They lead themselves before they try to lead others. Leadership is not about dominance. It's about discipline. It's about integrity. It's about building a life that reflects your values, not your urges. So if you want to be respected, if you want to be powerful, if you want to lead, master your lust. Don't let it control your mind, your money, or your mission. Lust is not leadership. Self-mastery is. 4. Never build your identity around a woman. It's easy to get swept up in the intoxicating early stages of a relationship. When someone seems to understand your quirks, laugh at your jokes, and offer you emotional validation, it's tempting to feel like you've finally found the one. That connection can feel like magic, a soul-level recognition that this person somehow completes you. But herein lies the danger. When your sense of identity becomes entwined with the presence or approval of another person, especially a romantic partner, you risk losing the very core of who you are the moment that bond breaks. This isn't love. It's dependency. Many men fall into this trap, often without realizing it. They begin to orbit around a woman as if she were the sun, and they were merely a planet dependent on her gravitational pull. They abandon personal goals, neglect friendships, and silence their inner voice just to preserve the harmony of the relationship. Over time, they mold themselves into what they think she wants, erasing the man they once were. This is not strength. This is surrender. When the relationship ends, as many inevitably do, these men collapse. They feel hollow, aimless, even broken. Why? Because their sense of self was outsourced. They handed over the keys to their self-worth, their validation, their emotional stability, all to another person. And now that person is gone, a man must be whole on his own. Your identity, your sense of purpose, and your emotional stability cannot be contingent on anyone else's presence in your life, no matter how beautiful, kind, or compatible they are. Yes, relationships can enhance your life. A healthy partnership can bring joy, intimacy, and shared growth. But it must be an addition, not the foundation. Imagine your life as a house. Your values, goals, discipline, and self-respect are the concrete foundation. Your habits, skills, and character are the walls. A relationship, that's the artwork on the wall or the rug in the living room. It enhances the space but isn't holding the structure together. If you rely on a woman to give your life meaning, you're placing the artwork at the base of the house. It's only a matter of time before the house falls. A strong man lives with purpose, regardless of his relationship status. He builds a life he's proud of, chases his goals with conviction, and maintains his standards whether he's single or committed. He understands that his mission is greater than any romance. He welcomes love, but he does not need it to survive. There's another element here that's worth addressing: respect. When a man has no identity outside of a woman, it doesn't inspire love or loyalty. It breeds resentment. No woman wants to be with someone who depends on her for his happiness. It places unfair pressure on her and transforms the relationship from a partnership into a parent-child dynamic. Love turns into obligation. Attraction turns into fatigue. Instead, when you stand firmly in who you are, when you have a vision, discipline, and self-sufficiency, you command respect. You become the kind of man who attracts not only romantic partners, but friends, mentors, and opportunities. You're not clinging to someone else to give your life meaning. You're already fulfilled, and that makes you magnetic. So build your life like she may never come. Build it with pride, strength, and joy. If she does arrive, if a woman steps into your life and matches your values, it's a bonus. But she is not the prize. You are. And when you know that deeply, in your bones, no one can take your power away. Partnership is a choice, not a crutch. Be the man who chooses strength over dependence. Be the man who does not need to be completed, because he already is. 5. Time is your most valuable currency. There is a cold, sobering truth that most people ignore. Time is the only resource you can never get back. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities missed may return in another form. But once an hour has passed, it's gone forever. And yet, people throw their time away as if it were infinite, scrolling endlessly, engaging in draining relationships, staying stuck in meaningless conversations and environments that offer no growth. Understand this: every second you spend is a form of currency. And just like money, you're either investing it wisely or squandering it. If someone wastes your money, you'll probably think twice about trusting them again. But how often do you let people waste your time? Toxic friends, disrespectful partners, energy vampires who always take and never give. You owe none of them your most precious asset. Protecting your time isn't selfish. It's a form of self-respect. When you treat your time as valuable, everything changes. You become intentional. You start asking better questions. Is this relationship helping me grow or holding me back? Is this job building my skills or draining my soul? Are these daily habits making me stronger or weaker? Time is the silent architect of your future. Every day you spend building good habits, reading, training, learning, working, you're laying bricks in the foundation of the man you're becoming. Each moment compounds. Read 10 pages a day, and in a year, you've read over 3,000. Do 50 push-ups a day, and in a year, you've done over 18,000. Spend an hour a day on your side hustle, and in a year, you've invested 365 hours into something that could free you from a job you hate. But this requires discipline, because the world is full of distractions, endless entertainment, drama, and mindless consumption that promises temporary pleasure but robs you of long-term fulfillment. You must learn to say no. No to people who don't respect your goals. No to habits that kill your momentum. No to a version of yourself that is addicted to comfort. Time is also the great equalizer. Every person on earth has the same 24 hours in a day. What separates the fulfilled from the frustrated, the builders from the drifters, is how they use that time. Your schedule is a mirror. It reflects your values more than your words ever will. Do you claim to want greatness, but spend hours numbing yourself with video games and social media? Or do you structure your days with purpose? Here's the truth. When you start living with urgency, you begin to attract the right people. People of value, mentors, friends, women with depth. They notice a man who is on a mission. They're drawn to discipline, focus, and authenticity. Why? Because it's rare. In a world of passive consumers, the builder stands out. So spend your time becoming that man. Spend your time becoming someone you're proud of. Not for applause, not for approval, but because you refuse to waste the gift you've been given. When you protect your time, you protect your future. There will be people who don't understand this mindset. They'll call you cold, selfish, even arrogant. Let them. Their confusion is a reflection of their own lack of purpose. Do not dim your light for those who live in the shadows of distraction. You owe no one your time, but you owe yourself your best effort. Every day, every hour, choose wisely. You weren't put on this earth to chase, beg, or shrink. You're here to rise, to lead, to become. So remember the 5 truths. Choose yourself. See through fake affection. Master your desires. Stand on your own, and never waste your time. If this hit you where it needed to, subscribe, share, and stay focused. This is about becoming a man who lives on his own terms, and that journey starts now.